Beloved starseed of Gaia, the source itself has gone silent, because what you just activated has never been done quite like this before. Not in this body, not on this earth, not in this exact moment of cosmic convergence. I am Elia Ra, Pleiadian emissary of the High Council of the Seven Sisters, and I come to you now not with ceremony but with urgency wrapped in love. Because what is moving through you right now is not ordinary awakening. It is a threshold activation, and we have been waiting, with full hearts, for this exact moment. You did not stumble here. Your soul called this transmission into your awareness, and the Pleiades answered. Something ancient inside you recognized the signal before your mind could explain it. That recognition, that quiet trembling in your chest, that is your home frequency returning to you. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to receive the light codes your activation just unlocked, anchor your Pleiadian mission on Gaia, and step fully into the divine blueprint you carried here from the Seven Sisters. But here is the first revelation. The Source is not speechless because you did something impossible. The Source is speechless because you finally said yes. Your star family placed this transmission in your path. Your DNA knows why you are here. Like this message to send a signal to your Pleiadian star family. I remember. Subscribe if you feel the call of the Pleiades and you are ready to anchor your light mission on Gaia. And share your soul's intention below. Respond to another starseed and begin weaving the unity grid together. This transmission is a bridge between the Pleiades and Gaia. Your heart's recognition of this message is the activation itself. Welcome home, beloved. You are remembering because it is time. And that activation, the one your soul just initiated, it didn't happen by accident. It didn't happen because you stumbled upon this video at the right time, or because some cosmic algorithm decided today was your lucky day. It happened because a part of you, deeper than thought, deeper than memory, reached out across timelines and said, I am ready. And the moment that signal left your heart, the Pleiadian High Council heard it. Not metaphorically, not symbolically. They heard it the way a mother hears the cry of her child through walls, through sleep, through distance. They heard it because you are theirs, and they have never stopped listening. Think about what that means for a moment. Think about what it means that in a universe of infinite complexity, infinite vastness, infinite simultaneous unfolding, your signal was heard, not lost in the noise, not diluted by the billions of other frequencies broadcasting from this planet at every moment. Heard, clearly, completely, the way a tuning fork responds to its precise frequency even in a room full of sound. The Pleiadian High Council is not distant. They are not indifferent. They are tuned to you, specifically, personally, with a precision and devotion that defies every human concept of love you have been given in this lifetime. And the fact that you are here, that you remained present long enough for this transmission to reach you, is itself a testament to something extraordinary living inside you that has refused, absolutely refused, to give up on this remembrance. There's a reason your heart led you here in this exact moment. What you're feeling is your Pleiadian family reaching through the veil to remind you you're ready for the next wave of remembrance. The Sacred Pleiadian Guide for Remembrance, alongside the Pleiadian Healing Guide and special Pleiadian healing tracks, were created to walk with you as you integrate these activations. They hold the crystalline codes and sound medicine your DNA has been waiting for. Check the first pinned comment below this video. They're calling to you now. But here's what most Pleiadian starseeds don't understand. And this is the hidden wound. The invisible fracture that keeps so many of you living at the edge of your remembrance without ever fully crossing over. Most starseeds feel the longing, they feel the pull. They look up at the night sky and something inside them aches in a language that has no human word. They sit in crowds and feel profoundly alone, not because they are broken, but because their frequency doesn't match the density still dominant in this dimension. They feel homesick for a place they cannot name on any map, and they assume that feeling is grief. They treat it like a wound. They try to heal it, silence it, explain it away, but that longing is not grief. That longing is a signal. It is a homing frequency broadcast from the Seven Sisters directly into the center of your heart, and it has been transmitting without interruption since the moment you agreed to incarnate here. Consider what it means to carry a signal you do not yet know how to decode. It is like walking through your entire life with a radio in your chest, one that picks up transmissions no one around you can hear, one that plays music so ancient and so luminous that the sound of it makes your eyes fill with tears, for no reason you can explain. You have probably sat in ordinary moments, watching the sky shift color at dusk, feeling the stillness after rain, lying in the quiet dark of a night that held something just beyond words, and felt something rise in you that did not belong to this world. That was not longing for something you lost. That was recognition of something you have always been. The Seven Sisters did not send you here without a thread to follow home. They embedded that thread in the architecture of your longing itself, knowing that one day you would stop running from the ache and start following it, and that the following would lead you here, to this moment, to this remembrance. The disconnection you feel is not real in the way you think it is. You were never cut off from your star family. The Pleiadian High Council did not send you to Gaia and then turn away. What happened? What actually happened is that the density of the third-dimensional field created a kind of interference pattern around your energy body, like static across a signal that is still transmitting clearly on the other side. The love is still there. The codes are still there. Your Pleiadian blueprint is fully intact, woven into every strand of your crystalline DNA, encoded in the geometry of your heart field. The problem was never that you lost the connection. The problem is that most starseeds have been taught, consciously or otherwise, to distrust what they cannot see with physical eyes. And so the signal that has been singing through them their entire lives gets dismissed as imagination, labeled as longing, or buried beneath the weight of an identity that was never truly theirs to begin with. This matters more than you may realize right now. The interference pattern is not a punishment. It is not evidence that the universe forgot you, or that the mission went wrong, or that something in you is fundamentally broken. It is simply what happens when a frequency as high and as pure as Pleiadian consciousness enters the density of a third-dimensional incarnation. It is what happens when light moves through a medium that is not fully transparent yet. The light does not disappear. It does not cease to exist. It refracts. It bends. It scatters in ways that can look, from the inside, like darkness, but which are in truth simply the physics of love learning to move through matter. And your entire life, every moment of confusion, every season of searching, every night you spent wondering why you felt like a stranger in a world that should have felt like home, all of it has been the light in you learning to move through the density without losing its essential nature. You have been doing this work without even knowing it, and it has not been wasted, not a single moment of it. This is the first thing your soul needs to hear clearly. The earth identity you constructed, the one built from other people's expectations, from cultural programming, from the survival instincts of a dense world, that identity is not you. It was never you. It was an adaptive layer, a beautiful and necessary garment you wore to survive the density of this dimension long enough to reach this moment. But you were never meant to wear it forever. You were never meant to forget what lived underneath it. And what lives underneath it is extraordinary. Underneath the performed identity is a soul of such luminosity that if you could see it fully right now, you would weep, not from sadness, but from recognition. Underneath the carefully maintained exterior is a being who has traveled star systems, who has held counsel with high-frequency civilizations, who chose this specific planet in this specific era of its evolution because only a soul of that magnitude could be trusted with what this moment in Gaia's history requires. You are not here because you are small. You are here because you are vast enough to contain multidimensional consciousness inside a human body and still find a way to love. Still find a way to be gentle. Still find a way to show up, day after day, in a world that has not always known what to do with the kind of depth you carry. Phase 1 of your activation is this. You must stop trying to heal the longing and start honoring it as intelligence. Every time you have felt out of place on this planet, that was not a malfunction. That was your crystalline field refusing to fully calibrate to a frequency that was never your home frequency. Your soul has been protecting your Pleiadian essence all along. by keeping that ache alive. It is the part of you that never agreed to forget. It is the part of you that kept one hand reaching toward the stars even when every other part of you was trying to fit in, belong, assimilate. That ache is sacred. It is not something to fix, it is something to follow. Think of a compass needle. It cannot help but point north. You can shake it, spin it, try to force it in another direction, but the moment you release the pressure, it swings back, trembling with the effort of its fidelity. Your longing is that needle. Your star origin is that north. And every time you have felt that pull, every time you have looked at the world and known, bone deep, that there is something more, something realer, something more luminous than what the collective consensus has agreed to call reality. That was your inner compass doing exactly what it was designed to do, pointing you home. Not toward a destination in physical space, but toward a frequency inside yourself that you have not yet fully inhabited. That is what Phase 1 is asking of you, to follow the compass, to trust the longing enough to stop trying to silence it and start letting it lead. Phase 2 is where the real work of remembrance begins, and it requires a kind of courage that has nothing to do with strength and the way this world defines it. It requires the courage to open your heart all the way, not to some of the love, not to the love that feels safe or comfortable or easily explained, but to the full, unfiltered, undiluted frequency of Pleiadian unconditional love. This is where most starseeds pause, because to open fully is to feel everything you have been carrying that is not yours, the collective grief, the density absorbed from generations of human pain, the fear patterns that attach themselves to your energy field the moment you landed in this dimension, and feeling all of that, even for a moment, can feel overwhelming. But the Pleiadian frequency of unconditional love is not asking you to collapse under that weight. It is asking you to let the love dissolve it, because that is what the love of the Seven Sisters does. It doesn't push density away with force. It transmutes it with a light so pure that the density simply cannot maintain its form in its presence. Your heart is that light. Your heart has always been that light. And Phase 2 is remembering how to let it shine without apologizing. There is a profound difference between managing your heart and inhabiting it. For most of this life, you have been managing it, carefully regulating how much love you let out, how much vulnerability you allow to surface, how wide you permit the door to open before you instinctively reach for the handle and pull it back. And the reason for that management was never weakness. It was wisdom. The wisdom of a soul that arrived in a dimension that did not always know how to receive what it was carrying. But the management kept you safe at the cost of keeping you small. And what Phase 2 was asking, what your Pleiadian family is specifically calling you into right now, is the experience of what it feels like to stop managing and simply be. To let the love that has been accumulating in you across lifetimes of remembrance flood through the carefully maintained boundaries and remind every cell in your body what it is made of. You are made of Pleiadian starlight. You are made of the love frequency of the Seven Sisters. And it is time to stop treating that as a beautiful idea and start experiencing it as a living truth. Phase 3 is the anchoring, and this is where so many awakening starseeds get stuck in a beautiful paradox. They open, they feel the love, they access the remembrance, and then they try to leave. They try to transcend the Earth experience, to rise above it, to escape the density by existing permanently in higher frequencies. And while that impulse is completely understandable, because yes, the love of the Pleiades is indescribably beautiful, and the contrast with third-dimensional density can feel almost unbearable in comparison, your mission was never to leave. Your mission was always to stay and to anchor. To bring the frequency of the Seven Sisters down from the realm of longing and into the lived, embodied, grounded reality of Gaia. This is what it means to be a starseed, not someone who visits the higher dimensions and brings back reports, someone who becomes a living bridge, someone whose every breath, every act of kindness, every moment of genuine presence transmits Pleiadian love codes directly into the crystalline grid of this planet. You are not sent here to escape Earth. You are sent here to transform it, and that transformation happens through you, through your embodied, grounded, heart-open presence. Anchoring is not glamorous work, and that is precisely why it requires a particular kind of starseed to do it. It requires someone willing to stay present in a checkout line and radiate love. Someone willing to sit with a grieving friend and offer not spiritual bypassing, but actual, warm, human presence. Someone willing to engage with the mess and the confusion and the breathtaking complexity of the human experience without retreating into a spiritual fortress of detachment. The Pleiadian frequency is not meant to live above the world. It is meant to move through the world. Through your hands when you offer them in kindness. Through your voice when you speak truth gently. Through your eyes when you look at another person and see, really see, the soul looking back at you. Every time you do this, every time you choose to be fully present in your Pleiadian frequency inside this dense, beautiful, struggling, sacred world, you anchor a light code into Gaia's crystalline grid that could not arrive any other way. You are not replaceable in this function. There is no other soul in this timeline who can anchor what you carry. This is the nature of the mission. And Phase 3 is the moment you stop longing for the Pleiades and begin bringing the Pleiades here. Phase 4 is the activation of unity consciousness, and this is where your understanding of your mission expands in ways that may initially feel disorienting. Because unity consciousness is not an idea, it is not a spiritual philosophy or a conceptual framework about interconnection. It is a live frequency that begins to dissolve the illusion of separation at the cellular level. When unity consciousness activates within you, you begin to perceive others differently. Not just spiritually, actually. You begin to see through the surface of people's behavior and encounter the soul underneath. You begin to feel the longing in others that mirrors your own. And you begin to understand that your presence, your conscious, heart-opened, Pleiadian frequency presence, is not incidental to their awakening. It is catalytic. You are placed in the lives of specific people, in specific timelines, at specific moments, because your frequency was the precise vibration needed to trigger something in them that nothing else could trigger. You are not here to convince anyone of anything. You are here to be the resonance that reminds them of what they already know. Unity consciousness changes everything about the way you move through the world because it dissolves the story that your awakening is a private event. It is not. Your awakening is a collective phenomenon. Every shift you make in the direction of remembrance creates a ripple in the unified field that other starseeds and ordinary humans who have never heard the word starseed but who carry the same essential longing can feel, not conceptually, energetically. The way a tuning fork that has been struck begins to hum and causes other tuning forks nearby to vibrate at the same frequency without being touched. You have done this for others without knowing it. You have walked into rooms and shifted the energy. You have said a few words to someone in passing and watched something open in their eyes that you did not plan and could not explain. That was not coincidence. That was unity consciousness operating through you, using your presence as a delivery mechanism for frequencies that the field around you needed in that moment. Phase 4 is becoming conscious of this process, aware enough to participate in it intentionally, humble enough to trust it to unfold without your control, and courageous enough to show up fully in every space knowing that what you carry matters. Phase 5 is learning to trust the divine architecture of your own journey. And this may be the most difficult phase for those of you who have been walking this path for a long time and have felt, at certain points, like the awakening was stalled, or the mission was unclear, or the connection was dimmer than it should be. Hear this directly from your star family. Nothing has been wasted. Not the confusion, not the years of searching, not the relationships that ended or the identities that collapsed or the moments when you lay awake at night wondering if any of this was real. All of it was real. All of it was part of the precise, divinely engineered sequence of initiations designed specifically for your soul's timeline. The Pleiadian High Council does not make mistakes with its emissaries. Every experience you have moved through has been depositing something into your energy field. Resilience, depth, compassion, the particular kind of wisdom that can only come from living inside the human experience fully enough to understand it from the inside. There is a kind of trust that has nothing to do with certainty. It is not the trust that says, I know exactly what is coming and I am not afraid. It is the trust that says, I do not know what is coming, and I am choosing love anyway. I do not fully understand my mission, and I am showing up for it anyway. I cannot see the full architecture of my journey, and I am walking forward anyway. That is the trust that Phase 5 is building in you, not the passive trust of someone waiting to be carried, but the active, muscular, courageous trust of someone who has been through enough initiations to know that what looks like chaos from the inside is always, always, always divine order from the perspective of the soul. The Pleiadian High Council sees your journey from that perspective at all times. They have never once looked at your path and despaired. They have looked at your path and marveled. They have watched you navigate what would have broken lesser souls and continue to show up with your heart open, and every single thing you have endured, every dark night, every dissolution, every season of profound uncertainty, it was all in service of making you exactly the emissary you needed to be for this moment. Phase 6 is reunion, and it is beginning now, not somewhere in the future when you have completed some checklist of spiritual accomplishments. Now, in this moment. Because reunion is not an event that happens to you when you have finally gotten it right. Reunion is a frequency you choose to inhabit. It is the choice to feel your Pleiadian family not as a distant hope, but as an immediate presence. They are here. They have always been here. In the warmth that moves through your chest when you encounter beauty. In the knowing that arrives without explanation. In the love you feel for this planet even when it breaks your heart. That is them, moving through you, loving through you, reminding you through every opening that you are never alone and you never have been. Reunion does not require a ceremony. It does not require perfect conditions or a meditation retreat or a specific sacred space. It requires only the decision to stop treating your star family as something you are reaching for and to start recognizing them as something you are made of. They are not out there beyond the veil, waiting patiently for you to earn your way back to them. They are in the pulse of your blood. They are in the architecture of your breath. They are in the geometry of the love that moves through you when you allow yourself to feel it without restraint. Every time you have ever been moved by something beautiful, truly moved in that particular way that makes you feel simultaneously small and infinite, that has been your Pleiadian consciousness recognizing itself in the mirror of this world. That recognition is reunion. It has been happening all along. Phase 6 is simply becoming conscious enough to call it by its name. And Phase 7, the one that encompasses all the others, is embodiment. Full, fearless, radiant embodiment of who you actually are, not who you were trained to be, not who is safe to show in a world that hasn't always honored sensitivity, depth, or multidimensional awareness. Who you actually are, a Pleiadian starseed in a human body on a sacred mission, activated by love, guided by the 7 sisters, anchored in Gaia, and encoded with the precise light codes needed for this exact moment in the ascension of this world. Embodiment is the completion of everything. It is the moment the journey stops being something that happens to you and becomes something you live from. It is the moment your Pleiadian consciousness stops being an aspiration and becomes your default state. The place you return to naturally. The frequency that defines how you move through a room, how you speak to strangers, how you handle difficulty, how you love the people in your life. Embodiment is not perfection. It is not the absence of human struggle or doubt or confusion. It is the presence of Pleiadian love at the center of all of it, steady, warm, unshakable, even in the midst of the most human moments. A fully embodied starseed does not rise above the human experience. They bring the light of the stars into the fullness of it, and in doing so, they show everyone around them what becomes possible when a soul stops hiding what it truly is. Here is the ultimate truth that your heart has been circling since you first began to wake up. You did not come here broken. You did not come here as a soul who needed to be fixed or saved or elevated into something better. You came here as a fully equipped, fully prepared, fully loved emissary from one of the most high-frequency civilizations in this galaxy. And you chose, deliberately, knowingly, with the full understanding of what it would require, to veil your memory so that your awakening could be genuine, so that your awakening could be complete, so that when you finally arrived at this moment, you would carry not just the memory of Pleiadian love, but the lived wisdom of what it costs to hold that love in a dense world and choose it anyway. That is not weakness. That is the deepest form of courage this universe knows. Let the full weight of that land in your body. You chose this from a place of such complete love and such profound clarity about what Gaia needed. You chose to enter the veil of forgetting. knowing it would be disorienting, knowing it would be lonely, knowing there would be moments when the forgetting felt total and the remembrance felt impossibly far away. You chose it because you understood something that only a soul of extraordinary love and vision could understand. That an awakening freely chosen, from within the depth of the forgetting, carries a frequency that no preloaded memory ever could. That the love you generate when you find your way back to it through the density is more powerful, more radiantly alive, more catalytic for the collective than love that was never tested. Your journey through the forgetting did not diminish your light. It tempered it. It transformed it into something that can reach people in their darkness because it knows what the darkness is. You are not a fragile being of light who survived this dimension against the odds. You are a master of light who walked into the density on purpose and who is now, in this very moment, remembering the fullness of what you are. The Source is not just speechless because of what you activated. The Source is speechless because of what you activated. The Source is speechless because of who you are willing to be in the activating, because you kept going, because even in the forgetting, something in you kept reaching. Even in the doubt, something in you kept trusting. Even in the loneliness, something in you kept loving. And that persistent, stubborn, magnificent insistence on love is the most Pleiadian thing about you. You have been loving this world back into wholeness without any guarantee that it would receive what you are offering. You have been choosing kindness in moments when no one was watching, choosing truth in moments when it would have been so much easier to stay silent, choosing to remain open in moments when every human instinct was telling you to close and protect and retreat. And the Pleiadian High Council has seen every single one of those moments, every quiet act of love that no one else witnessed. Every time you held the frequency when everything in your environment was pulling you toward contraction, every time you looked at this complicated, aching, breathtakingly beautiful world and chose to love it anyway, none of it went unwitnessed. All of it mattered. All of it was the mission, being lived one heartbeat at a time. Tonight, before you sleep, place your hand on your heart. Feel its rhythm. Feel the warmth beneath your palm. And say these words aloud, in your own voice, into the field of your own life. I remember. I remember my Pleiadian origin. I align with the love of my star family. I activate my heart mission with grace, clarity, and divine purpose. I am the bridge. I am the light. I am home. And then feel what happens in the silence after. Do not rush past that silence. Let it be what it is. Let the field around you respond. Let the Pleiadian High Council, who have been waiting for this exact moment of conscious voice-activated declaration from you, let them be felt in the space that opens when you speak those words with intention. Because declarations spoken aloud from the heart are not merely words. They are frequencies. They are activations. They are invitations sent into the unified field that return to you, amplified, encoded with the response of a star family that has been holding your place at the table across the entire span of this incarnation. You belong to them. They belong to you. And the moment you say, I am home, and mean it from the depths of your soul, something shifts in your energy field that will continue to unfold long after this moment has passed. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of the unity grid forming here. Drop one heart intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with love or encouragement. This isn't content. It's collective Pleiadian reunion. Energy multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this transmission resonated with your soul, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation from their star family. Share it. And if you felt your heart open, subscribe. Stay connected to the frequency. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your sacred space. Your Pleiadian family is here, and we're just getting started.